Magicbricks recently released a comprehensive interior market report called Beyond Walls. This report gives us a lot of data points related to India's interior market. I'll start with giving you some of those data points and statistics that are there to build the context of our discussion today. India's home interior market was estimated to be close to about $12.3 billion in 2024, and it's likely to grow at 12% CAGR over next 6-7 years and reach about $25 billion by 2030. That's no small size. The growth is largely fueled by the new unit handovers, which contribute to about 65% of the overall growth, or are estimated to contribute, and also resale transactions, which are about 35%. Interestingly, the study also communicates a very important thing, which is that interiors can actually fuel the growth of real estate itself. And the real estate expansion is directly driven by interiors demand. Interiors can increase the resale value of a property by up to 70%. And professional design homes can earn also about 45% more rental income. So this is just to give you a perspective of how important is interiors as a concept for you as a user. And buyers typically are now allocating about 10 to 15% of their property value to getting interiors done. Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns, for example, Lucknow, the Jaipur, Coimbatore, Nagpur, etc., are rising very fast in terms of interior demands. An average Indian, as per the report, is spending close to about 560 rupees per square feet on getting interiors done. While this may vary dramatically between different markets, geographies, and different kind of price classes. And kitchens and modular kitchens have obviously become a go-to thing. Kitchens account for close to about 20 to 30% of overall interior spend. These are some of the interesting data points that have come out of this report. This report also talks about what are the growth drivers, what are the things that are driving interior as a market, and today's discussion is built around those. It's about growth driver for the interior design market in India. Namaskar, I'm Prasun Kumar and you're watching this new episode of The Property Show on MBTV, India's largest real estate online platform. To discuss this very interesting topic, we have got a stellar set of panel today. I'll start by introducing the panelists. In the studios, we have got Mr. Solomon M, who is heading the interiors business at Magicbricks. We have got Ms. Purna Ghosh, who's co-founder and principal designer at Hanging Hammer. We have got Mr. Sandeep Selvam, who's director of Home Interior Plus. And we have got Mr. Pramod Kumar, who's founder and director at Home Q Interiors. Right, so welcome everyone. The report suggests a very, very robust market. The report suggests robust growth over next 5 to 6 years. The report is also indicating that a lot of tier 2 towns are now emerging and a lot of individual demand is driving this industry, this category. So a lot of interesting data points emerging from there, and let me start building from there, right? How much of urbanization and the rising income contributes to now the growth of the interior markets the way we are looking at, right? So let me start with you, Solomon. What is your take on this? The entire concept of rapid urbanization and of course the economy has grown, the disposable incomes have grown. How much of that is contributing to the growth in the home interior demand?
Okay. Firstly, thank you for having me, Prasun, here. Some staggering numbers coming out of this report, right? And the exact point which you mentioned, urbanization, rising income levels, or growth in disposable income. I think this has been one of the major factors. But this plugged with growing aspirations of people. Now, interiors in some way or the other have existed since time immemorial, right? Interiors could be as basic as a shelf and a cupboard in our homes, right? Kitchen slabs were some kind of kitchen interiors that were there. But what fueled this growth of modular interiors and the growth of this entire industry was these two factors put together, the growing aspirations plus the rise of disposable incomes and all of this put together gave rise to this.
Okay.
Now, as the research also says, and something that we are seeing around us in market today, the organized housing is only going up, right? Gated communities, or today people are seeing as one of the aspirations to get into, or even any other sort of organized housing, moving away from, let's say, unorganized colonies to a proper housing colonies. All of these are factors which are contributing to rise of home interiors industry.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's quite interesting. Now, if we have looked at urbanization, of course, there are large urban centers where a lot of these businesses are concentrated. The usual culprits being the Delhi NCR, the MMR, the Bengaluru, the Hyderabad of the world, right? So that's been there. Sandeep, tell me the large cities' contribution in the overall demand for interior products. How has this market shaped up over last, say, couple of years post-COVID?
See, actually, speaking about stats, whenever we're talking about stats, everybody knows about this kind of industry. What happens is close to 75% of the industry is ruled by the unorganized sector.
Yes.
And we're trying to go ahead and make sure we urbanize it and we digitally make some noise so that people actually knows that interiors is not it's not going to be like a trouble for them. It's going to be like a hassle-free journey. So this kind of urbanization, what happens is bringing a lot of knowledge to the client, where they are able to go ahead and source certain people, like the larger players now, like Home Lane, Live Space, for example. They're actually done a great job by going ahead and making, they westernized a lot of things where people are actually seeing a lot of advertisements. People know that they don't have to really go to an unorganized sector. This is actually trying to change. So I kind of first initiative will definitely go ahead and bring the market, and they will try to go ahead and see, instead of going ahead and having an unstable pricing or low below par quality. I think it'll be a better knowledge to people that they can actually go to a standard organized sector. So I think that is going to be directly proportional to the increase of the market we're currently looking into.
All right. So Pramod, Sandeep makes a case for the industry moving from unorganized to organized, and that also, of course, is fueling the demand, and standardization is coming in, so on and so forth. Right? Are there any other drivers that you have seen?
With 93% of statistics is the heartbeat of our industry. It means that every project is deeply personal, and understanding the lifestyle and aspirations is everything. The key differentiator is no longer just a budget, but the piece of life and the concept of community. Right? In Metro's Tier 1, the aspiration is for a personalized oasis. Life is fast, spaces are compact, and privacy is prized. The design preference is for clean, minimalistic, and aesthetic. Think of Scandinavian design or a contemporary that promote a sense of calm and order, right? Whereas in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, the aspiration is for more kind of a modern legacy homes.
Okay.
Here, spaces are larger and life is often more integrated with the extended family and community. The design preference is bolder and more expensive. So the basic strategy is a globalized design, right? Rather than globalized, we'll call it as a localized. Local and make it global, right? We don't have a one-size-fits-all portfolio, right?
Sure.
Now, where it's creating a Zen-like studio in Mumbai or a sprawling, vibrant villa in Hyderabad, our process begins with understanding the client's social fabric and their definition of home.
Okay, so you make a case for personalized approach, and you're saying that the individual demand is the real driver of this growth. Purna, what other trends have you been able to read?
If we're talking about the trends, this is, according to me, the golden period for interior, real estate, everything.
Okay.
India market is maturing, but we still have so much of housing development which is going on. So there is so much of scope for interiors. Plus, post-COVID things have been drastically different in terms of people moving. The concentration is not only in metropolitan city, but people moving to tier 2, tier 3 cities like you mentioned, Raipur, Indore. We have seen Coimbatore and all that. People are shifting, and earlier it was only restricted to metro cities, but now these tier 2 cities have so much of potential, so much of exposure, because post COVID people are working, there is remote working, hybrid working, etc. So it has spread, so it's a golden time. And also the the kind of earlier interior was to do with aesthetic, looking good, but that has shifted to be more functional spaces, more multi-dimensional spaces, where I can use one space in a multiple way, things like that. So there are so much of exposure which has been created in last, I think, 3-4 years, that it's a great trend which is going on right now. Yeah.
Okay, Solomon, I want to come to you. Sandeep was making a case for the industry becoming organized now, right? And I do think one of the key roles played there in terms of organizing this unorganized part of the industry is aggregation of all the players on a single platform, right? And online platforms have been doing it, right? And you have been driving that in some sense. Just share a bit about how this market is shaping up, how the entire industry is moving towards an organized industry, and what are some of the latent benefits coming out of that?
Okay, so some of the panelists here touched about one, definitely personalization, Prasun. Beyond that, some of the qualities which some of the initial organized companies, right, in the past decade spoke about: predictability in timeline, quality. So when it comes to real estate or home interiors, these are some of the things which plagued the industry, and customers were swaying away from larger players because of these particular things. Now these have become common expectations from any organized player or any semi-organized player, right? With the growth of e-commerce, I think with the growth of quick commerce, some of these things we expect predictability in almost everything that we do.
Products and service delivery is there.
Correct, that we do. Now then, design in a way has become commoditized.
Okay.
Design, modular kitchens in a way have become commoditized. The materials are few, as in most of the interior players cannot invent their own materials, right? So there comes the necessity for marketplaces. It has happened in other industries. It's happened in real estate. That's how players like Magicbricks started, right?
Yeah.
We are a marketplace.
Yeah.
Now it's happened in food and dining. Zomato started a marketplace.
Correct.
So the faster, as in any industry where the industry is moving from a largely unorganized to an organized / semi-organized, and where the number of players are very localized, specific to that market, and the number is high, the need for marketplaces is definitely there. The discovery for an end consumer becomes tough, because even if they do a simple search online, the same set of three players are visible, right? But who are they? Who are beyond the three? Which are the players beyond the three? There are some gems of players across all cities, and that's where marketplaces come in.
Right.
Today, for example, the Magicbricks Magic Interiors platform has 150 plus home interior players across the country, right? And today we have over 10,000 customers submitting requests every month and interacting with these players, and where we are helping them connect. And the feedback that we get is that they're very appreciative of the fact that they could not have discovered, or they would have found it difficult to discover some of these players. That's where marketplaces are.
Yeah. Okay. So staying on this and building further on this, Sandeep, I wanted to come to you. Technology, of course, is a big enabler in every industry today, right? And marketplace model is one of those models where technology can be used to drive discoverability of solutions and solution providers, awareness around the products and different kind of services, designs, etc., right? And with a mobile in hand of every Indian, this only becomes a huge opportunity area in a way, right? So how are you seeing technology reshaping the interior market and the interior demand, or even the supply side over the years?
So first thing first, I think most probably every interior designer is becoming a trend-setting platform here. So Magic is playing one of the major roles in actually collating everybody. The people reach you after you being technologically or digitally, your are great, and your people trying to reach you. You need to make sure that a person is coming to visit you. For example, in a day, they're actually spending their bandwidth for a day. For example, 2 to 3 hours. When they're coming to you, they're going to sit very comfortably. They're going to spend close to 3 hours in going ahead and making sure my dream house, how is it going to look virtually, right? That's why we do not go to a carpenter. We come to a organized player to have a look at my house before even it actually goes into production. Because if it's a carpenter era, what happens is they'll actually go ahead and sketch it, they'll draw it in the wall, or they're going to use a piece of paper But if you want to go ahead and dig deeper into the client's mind, you need to virtually show them how is that house coming or how is it going to look like, correct? So for that, we should make sure we are technologically strong. We have a right tool to go ahead and address what they're kind of looking at and how we can go ahead and impress by placing in. This is just Pramod sir said, it's not going to be like just economics, correct? It's not going to be simple economics. You need to make sure you actually activate the right emotional buzzer for the client, because 80% of the people who are actually buying the house think luckily they will be ending up with only one house. Not very, very lucky people will end up with a second or third. So one particular house, they want it to be the best, and for them to be the best, they should preview it. They need to make sure that they visually, see the virtual view of their house. For that, you definitely need, right tools, right trend-setting designers. So everything goes hand in hand. If you have a proper tool, technological wise, it's going to be. You need to make sure you're making your noise in the market. You need to be one step higher technically to make sure that you reach the client's buzzer.
Okay. Solomon, technology, of course, one part of that is digital. And you explained how digital is aiding in expansion of the category, right? But there's so much more to technology, right? There's IoT, and then there are safety and security related technologies which are coming to homes now, and so on and so forth. And then you all now have artificial intelligence, which is driving a whole lot of things. What are some of the trends that you have captured, over there, which is reshaping the industry?
Definitely. One thing which customers always wanted, and especially the Gen Zs want, is control in their hands. I'm starting to see probably AI might be able to do that. Can AI actually give the control to the user? Because so far, and there are very, very few industries where only the experts actually operate, right? So even today here, while the users, customers come with their own ideas, at the end of the day, it's the interior designer who is actually designing. Can AI actually give that control to the customer and maybe give a DIY platform? So at Magicbricks, we also worked on there is a product called Magic Design AI, Prasun. The beta version of it is on our platform on the website, where you can actually go and you can upload a photo of your home and your inspiration image, and the platform, the product not only incorporates the design but also gives you an estimate, gives the idea of the materials. Now, can we go ahead one step further? Can this be actually given to manufacturing? Can the same thing be installed? Is something that might happen. It's not very far. So this is one part where giving the control to the customer, the technology, we might see that soon.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just understand a little bit over here. And Sandeep, let me ask you this. When clients are coming to you, when individuals are coming to you, how much of a solution they would want you to incorporate, or they're asking you to incorporate in their brief, where they are asking for integration of various kinds of technology, whether they are Internet of Things or whether they are safety security related technology. How much of that is becoming integral to the interior design now?
What happens in a design discussion, we have clients who are sitting for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours also, because it's like a knowledge exchange. What happens is, this is my requirement, is it feasible, is it functional? Then the designer actually comes back to you, correct? So all these things, the canvas to be painted in front of the client, we need to have a stronger technological tool. For example, that's what I'm trying to say. From the day one, when we are actually, from the time we pick up the phone and talk hello to the particular client, then to go ahead and break the ice, then to gain the trust, then to go ahead and explain about the company. Everything comes into picture when we actually show the entire design to the client. And when we show things, technologically, you need to be really sound to go ahead and show this.
Okay, all right. So Purna, coming to you, the one trend we spoke about, one growth driver we spoke about was technology, which is what we're talking about right now. You also mentioned that the design language itself has shifted to there's a lot of functionality now coming in it, right? So it's not only about aesthetics and good looks, but there's a lot of functionality coming in. Can you just elaborate that point? How is that trend driving the growth of the category?
So there is a paradigm shift which I spoke about. We have seen that people are right now looking for more multi-dimensional spaces. For example, we make so many houses where people ask for a certain room to be converted into a office room, okay, a living room, a dining room may not be all the time used as a formal dining room, but a portion of it can be converted into an office room. There are asks for wellness areas, meditation areas, small gym areas in the house. Then there are people prefer a lot of partitioned areas where they can multi-use these spaces in various ways. So such kind of requests are coming more, and with the social media and so much of exposure of what can be done, what not can be done, everybody the horizon of interior is increasing. So everybody is thinking, they're paying a lot of attention to their house, and it's not just a conventional that I come to a house and I just make cupboards and kitchen and false ceiling and then I get into a house. Everybody wants to make it much more experimental. In terms of design styles, people are going so experimental. Somebody sitting in indoor is asking for a Japanese style or a Brooklyn loft style. Things like that. So people are really experimental. They're willing to do much more. So that's how we designer have a huge canvas to play with. And it's quite interesting.
Okay. Solomon, what are some of the trends that you have captured on the platform? For example, Purna is talking about how functionality is coming and people want multi-use spaces to be designed and so on and so forth, right? Sandeep was talking about how technology is becoming central to everything and critical to everything. What are some of the trends that you are capturing from a demand point of view that you want to talk about?
Sure. Some of the trends that we are seeing with respect to functionality is increase in space saving furniture.
Okay.
There are very, very innovative designs that are coming up, right? Can a study table be folded up, right? Can a bed be folded, and can a space be created for the kids to play, right? Sofa cum beds have been there for some time. This is one of the trend that we are seeing. More even in terms of colors and shades, subtler colors have taken over, right? Because they show the space slightly larger.
Okay.
They've been replaced, so they have replaced those bright shades which we used to see very commonly earlier.
Okay.
Even with respect to ease, something that has gone up very significantly is automation. Automating, it started with lights and fans to appliances. Now everything could be automated. Curtains could be automated. All the appliances in one home can be operated with one remote. So a lot of this has taken off in the past few months.
Okay.
So these are some of the very prominent trends.
Okay. Yeah. I also wanted to build upon another growth driver which the report talks about, which is how tier 2 towns are now emerging, as growth drivers, right? So starting with you, Solomon, what are the trends that you have seen? The Jaipurs and the Coimbatores and the Raipurs and Indores of the world. How are they shaping up?
Definitely. I think organized home interiors market, Prasun, has moved beyond the 6 metros to the next 10, 15 state capitals.
Okay.
Maybe 5-6 years ago itself, right? It's in the maybe between 2010 to 2020 was when it boomed in the top 6 metros, and then it moved beyond that very, very quickly.
Okay.
So Jaipur, Lucknow today are very large markets, both for real estate and also for home interiors. Now, definitely tier 2, tier 3 is where our next billion people live, and that's what logically all companies are looking at, and that's what Ola, Swiggy, Zomatos of the world have done, and that's what all interior players are looking at. But home interiors is a slightly more complicated business than let's say any service delivery, right? Any pure play service delivery. This needs an ecosystem to be there, right? One is definitely those customers who are looking at modular interiors, and a certain scale, as in a certain volume of customers for this ecosystem to thrive. Then also the talent of designers who are available to design, who understand this, manufacturers who come in, and then again the overall workforce which comes in, right? So
is this ecosystem developing or has developed?
So the development of this ecosystem is what is happening right now.
Okay.
It has been, but we are definitely seeing some trends of this happening with several large companies investing in tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Okay. All right. So Pramod, coming to you, this phenomena of tier 2 towns now emerging as a next hotspot, for demand generation, for standardized interior and organized interior products. What are some of the trends that you have captured there? What are some of the issues or challenges that you have seen? Solomon is talking about how ecosystem has to be there to also deliver the product per se. How have you seen this tier 2 market phenomena?
See, this especially when it comes to fulfilling their requirements. This social media influence has been undeniably significantly influencing the market. Right, it has become kind of a primary source of inspiration for many of the homeowners. So, however, we are viewing it as a dictator of design, right? But as a powerful tool that informs a more conversation with our clients.
Yes.
The desire for an Instagrammable corner or the acoustic optimized podcast nook represents a modern need for personalization, is what I say.
That's a fair point. And Purna, just building on that point, the role that social media is playing, right? And we also, spoke about how millennials and Gen Z are the primary consumers of the products today, right? And with Gen Z entering the market, they are digital born generation, and they discover everything digitally. And for them, virtual reality is the real reality, and so on and so forth, right? How much of social media influence or the influencers' influence that you see when it comes to people asking for a certain kind of design or giving you a brief?
That's huge. I think Pramod has covered quite a bit that things are led by influencers nowadays. But having said that, there's a lot of exposure in general in everybody, so they know what they want. Also, if I have to summarize in one line, I would say that it's not that how do you want to live, but how you want to be seen to be lived. So that's the theme of how people are going and making houses, but that's not bad at all.
अच्छा दिखना चाहिए. That's the whole
Yes,
thing.
yes. That's not bad at all. I mean, it's your house. Why would you not spend time, energy, and effort to do that?
Sure.
And it's a great thing. And I think we should thank the social media and the kind of exposure it is bringing out to everybody. And you cannot fool a customer now. They know things. You cannot talk them into getting certain things done. So that's where it is. The organized sector are benefiting a lot. Earlier the carpenter would do anything they want, and but now everybody's awareness. So we should, in fact, thank social media, Pinterest, and all these platforms where it's generating so much of curiosity, exposure, knowledge, everything put together. So
Okay.
there's nothing wrong in having a great house or making an Instagrammable house.
Okay, yeah. Now is the golden time to become a social media influencer, especially in interior category. Going by how enthusiastic you guys are about it, Sandeep, when clients are coming to you, how much of an influence that you see of what they have seen on social media, and do they come with pictures? मुझे ऐसा ही चाहिए, and so on and so forth. What is happening there?
So what happens is nowadays the Instagram, Pinterest, and other lot of social medias actually play a major role. What happens is it's what every company also does. To go ahead and showcase our portfolio in one of the best methods. So what happens is we ourselves are posting one of the best pictures, the well done projects. You need to have one of the best showrooms. And all these pictures are anyway you're going to put that the same thing into Instagram, and those sometimes it actually publishes in Pinterest. So what happens is the client, whoever is going through, whoever is expecting, yes, this place is going to be really, really different from the other place. You need to make sure that you're on a current trend. For current trend, I think we actually looking into the social media would actually give us a lot of ideas, even to the standard players as well. What is going to trend? What can be outside the box? What is out of box method and out of box thinking and out of box designs? So even the designers, so-called trendsetters, should be available on the current trend.
Okay.
So when designers are your backbone in a company, when they are turning to be on one of the strongest social media side, they actually go ahead and do this is one of the best designs which has come out now, and we go ahead and plan for trending designs which is going on. Definitely, you should go ahead and make sure that we also should stay in the client shoes itself. So
Okay.
we'll have to be anticipating this before the client even asks you. Definitely they're going to come back to us with a lot of pictures, and it's going to be like a dream house, like how Poorna ma'am and Pramod are talking. It's going to be not simple economics. It's going to be a lot of things which is combined together. They're going to talk to us, and we should anticipate before they actually come and show them the current trending pictures. We should be able to go ahead and show them this is trending. Yes, please go ahead with this. So I think social media and Instagram and Pinterest and other social platforms should be playing not a major role. I think most probably now it's going to be like
They are the
almost
growth drivers. Yes, they are in the driving seat. I get that. And Gen Z not only is influenced by social media, they are also very sensitive about they are very eco-sensitive, right? And sustainability and eco-friendliness is probably top of the agenda. Purna, I just wanted to come to you and understand first from you how much of the sustainability aspects or elements that you see now becoming mainstream when it comes to delivery of design as well as the final product.
Sustainability is again, we get it from the customer that they want to have their home made in a sustainable way. They want to use material which are eco-friendly, which are not artificially made, things like that. A lot of natural element. We as a firm, we practice a lot of upcycling, reusing of things which they already have. Not just throwing away everything. So sustainability is one of, in most of our projects, it is one of the key aspects which we discuss with the client, and we take a conscious decisions to retain things and use a particular type of material in the entire the project, so that it is much more. So sustainability has to be there.
Promote the what are some of these eco-sensitive materials or concepts that are there in the market today for consumers to know about? Those of our users who do not know much about this, what are some of these things which are there, which they should know, and which is good to use?
So basically, when it comes to using sustainable material within interior designing, not only just using the material, they're also more inclining towards the natural colors, like earthy colors, like browns or light beiges, or light gray colors, which which blends more into kind of a natural aesthetics, right? And also, especially, but however, when it comes to using sustainable material, we do have some sort of constraints. Whereas if it is an high-rise tower building, right, they use concrete, right? There's no such kind of thing that our material will be, there is an issue with the termite or something like that. But when it comes to brick building, they're more prone to, despite of the chemicals we use, they're more sort of prone to termite and other stuff. So keeping all this in mind, we need to be in a position where we can suggest more sort of natural materials that can be used, and at the same time that can blend into their requirement.
Solomon, I wanted to build on a point that Purna said, which was about renovations, right? Now, everyone focuses on the primary market and therefore the new homes and designing, because probably it's easy to kind of build them and you get a free hand to build them. But second homes, the resale homes and renovation projects, Purna says that's far more interesting from a designer perspective to really look at. But I wanted to understand the business aspect of it, right? 35% as per this report of the demand will be driven by renovation projects, right?
Correct.
Over the next 5-6 years. Is this market not being addressed by a lot of big players, primarily a missed opportunity, or you think players are also looking at renovation projects and wanting to address them?
Renovation, Prasun, I think, as the report also suggests, right, is going to take off in the next few years. Even if logically, if we see, right, the Gurgaons of the world, the Whitefields in Bangalore or the Gachibolis have all developed maybe from 2005 onwards till now. So the renovation market will now start to come up. There's been around 10 to 15 years, 15 to 20 years. So people start looking at older homes, newer interiors, all that. Most large players have tried their hand at it, but I think primarily because of the size of the market and also the complications that are involved, necessary investment has not gone in.
Okay.
Most large players today are not equipped to handle civil work. Now, civil, I'm not even talking about any architectural work, right? So this is nothing to do with
fundamental
this is
civil,
only
electrical, and
basic civil,
things,
which could be flooring changes, some minor wall modifications,
piping,
etc.
kind of things,
So most large players today are not. This is unorganized, difficult to track. A lot of this work happens at the site.
Okay.
And whenever these elements, these things come in, when it is difficult to track, most large players, it becomes difficult for them.
Yes.
Right? And that is one of the reasons why they did not invest into this. There are some good smaller players who are doing it. They're doing it profitably, they're doing it well with stellar feedback. But I'm expecting that the investment or the larger players would also start seeing it as a business opportunity, maybe in the next 1 to 2 years itself.
Okay. So you're saying that the market is not only about large players doing everything.
Yes.
The market will be an ecosystem of large players, medium-sized players, small players,
exactly.
maybe providing different kinds of products and services, and it will be a thriving ecosystem of sorts like that, right? Sandeep, as an entrepreneur, as an owner of a firm, you obviously will have an aspiration to be the largest in India, largest in world, and so on and so forth, and become as big as. But how do you really see this ecosystem building? Right, if you have to really become a $30 billion industry or maybe $100 billion industry, kind of going forward, what kind of ecosystem do you envisage that will be there?
Definitely a big market here. So what we are trying to accept the fact that what happens is most of the larger players operate on a preset module. What happens in a preset module, according to modular standards, what is possible, I think the company will be liable to go ahead and take charge and go ahead and give a guarantee, a warranty, whatever they're doing it, correct? So, but when it actually comes to an unorganized sector, for example, civil, unless and until it's an in-house team, then you are actually playing around with something which is going to backfire you at any point of time. It's going to be like an individual that day could not perform well on that particular site, but still it's going to reflect on your social media, on your company's name. So you cannot go ahead and make sure. I think few things can be rectified here by actually going ahead and giving them training and keep them under one umbrella. And still, it's going to be like a lot of education which actually comes in from the designer, from the trend, and however it has to be feasible to go ahead and make sure the property actually comes in well. And we're talking about civil. I think most of the civil vendors whom we are talking about is not they're not so sound on educational level, how to go ahead and communicate with the client.
There are local plumbers and local masons and those kind of things.
So when you're sourcing these kind of people and from the unorganized sector, they do not, the quality might be subpar, which you're not available, which you're not, it's not going to come into your notice. I think collating everything under one umbrella, it's going to be I think it's going to take some time. Maybe for a very large player, this is too much of work to go ahead and concentrate, because machine is laser cut, we are much precise. You enter the program, it's going to give you the best output million times. And here in unorganized sector, what happens is today I might go ahead and work well today, and tomorrow it's not going to be the same result from the same person. So you cannot go ahead and see a measurable outcome or a standard effect which actually comes into play. I think this is a debatable structure where we need to go ahead and maintain. You might have best of the person, but eventually the person's quality is going to come down because he is actually doing a physical job now. After all, we are all humans, and human errors tend to bound to happen. So I think this market as such, it's a very large market. To go ahead and get it organized is, we are trying to, one step at a time. We need to go make sure that maybe something can be sustainable or something can be put on a chart, or maybe a black and white conversation between the civil vendor and the organized sector. I think this potential barrier, if it comes close, I think we are there. But still, it's a big challenge.
Okay.
I also want to add that it also depends on the scale of the project. If the scale is big, I'm sure nobody will kind of deny doing that. But if I have to renovate a, say, 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom, then the effort versus the scale, it's too much to do. But if you are renovating a huge villa of 10,000, 15,000 square feet, then it's much more. Anybody would like to take that and do the renovation. So it depends on the scale. So yeah,
that's a fair point.
Standardizing the scale of 2 to 3 BHK renovation is something which to my knowledge, right now there is no standardization. I don't know, is there any company also doing that or willing to do that?
Okay. Incidentally, 90% of the market is driven by this.
Some of them is Urban Clap is doing some of the work, some of the.
But that's more service than interior.
So you can talk about a little bit of renovation also. They're doing up walls and things like that.
Yes. Pramod, how is then Indian market the way it is different from the way the more evolved, developed markets are like the US or Europe, etc., when it comes to interior design?
The demand is no longer just a kind of a cyclical. So it's basically structural driven by kind of a asset to experience mindset, right? The Indian home buyers, especially in the past post pandemic era, no longer views their home just as a financial asset, right? This is a kind of emotional investment is directly translating into higher spends on quality interiors, right? Those days are gone where they're relying on a local masonry, and today's clients are armed with, like I just mentioned, Pinterest and Instagram aspirations. Demands for professional expertise like us plays a very complex vision for us, right? So our optimism is built into the model that is, we need to rely on technology, and then which provides a real-time project tracking as well.
Okay. So in the end, let me just do a rapid fire with you. Let me start with you, Sandeep. What do you think will be the biggest growth driver of the interiors category over next 5 years? The biggest growth driver.
Biggest growth driver, definitely technology, definitely. And the second is in-house training, and I think we'll have to go ahead and bridge the industrial gap between the designers and academics.
Okay. Purna, according to you, what will be the biggest growth driver?
Biggest growth driver would be again technology, AI, use of AI in your workspace, and standardization.
Okay. So our first two panelists have voted for technology. Pramod, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think you and I would say technology and AI. Yeah, AI going to play a vital role. Now, the demand versus what we are offering is something we need to focus on, right? So AI will definitely play a vital role on it.
Okay, 3 votes for technology, 2 votes for AI in that, right? Solomon, what's your take?
I think the majority clearly wins, but I would add probably a couple of more points apart from technology, Prasun. The luxury homes market would be a major growth driver.
Okay.
There is a lot of market which is coming up. Homes are coming up there. Larger floor plates coming up across cities. Earlier it was limited to a few pockets. Now they are coming up across the country. That's going to be a big growth driver. Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. How are companies adapting the new ecosystem, developing the new ecosystem is going to be another growth driver.
Okay.
China went that way, right? And definitely renovation.
Okay.
I think these are some of the growth drivers.
Okay. Wonderful. So viewers, here it is. Interiors is not only about aesthetics, it's also about giving you functionality that you could never imagine. Interiors is also not only about the standard materials or the standard concepts that you hear about in the market. It's also a lot about how creatively you are putting together a lot of these things to get to enhance the appeal, and as our panelists have said, Instagrammable house to look at over there, right? It's a big business. It's going to grow very fast. Smaller towns are coming up. Internet has enabled democratization of design concepts, and therefore everyone today is equipped with the latest that is happening not only in India but maybe in New York as well, and would want that to be implemented in their home, say in Ghatkopar in Mumbai, right? So that's the interior story that is unfolding. There are many pointers we discuss about, and there's one thing that I have taken out from this, as all our panelists have voted, that technology is really going to reshape this. So we'll be conducting more such discussions, especially around how technology is taking this forward and how technology will be an enabler in expansion of the interior market in India. Do keep watching for those episodes to come to you, and thank you very much for watching the episode and being on MBTV. If you have liked the show, don't forget to like, share and comment.